today. Today is August 13th, and we are live. We're going to copy the link, get it on to Instagram, so that's where I'm headed. Howdy, we are here. We are live. Howdy, we are here. We are live. We are, wow, the camera, my poor little tripod thing is like really loose. That's pretty fun. All right, we need to do some other things here. What is up, Matthew? How are you doing? Glad to see your name on here again this week. You were on for a bunch last week, and I'm sure it was you that gave me that thumbs up, so I appreciate that. I am working on getting everything set up here. Got the poll going, or the question going up on top. Now I got a poll going. Can't talk and type. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Wow, my poll and excursion owner. I gotta change that. Trying to do a poll again. Okay, the poll is rolling. What is up, Dennis? How are you? Dennis, remind me, I think I recognize that. You're over in Spokane. You spot that red one, right? Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome, Matthew. Well, hit me up with any questions. Matthew, remind me, are you an excursion guy? Or do you remember if you were an excursion owner or not, Matthew? Yeah, Dennis, how is that truck coming along, man? Tell me about it. We are, still looking to beat that deal. There's one for $1,000 over on this side, and the guy doesn't have the title though. And if he had the title, it's so annoying. Matthew, that's awesome. You're gonna use it as like a welding rig when you get like into this welding thing. It is hot in the garage today, folks. It is. I don't know. It's probably 90 in here. I'm gonna move over so my fan is doing more work for moving air around me instead of me being between the fans. I have my exhaust fan on, hoping to pull the hot air out of the attic of the garage, but there's no attic. It's just the thing. And yeah. Ah, dang, Dennis. What did it throw a plug or what happened? Yeah, I get that, Matthew. Dude, you could build something cool for the rear windows though that like opened up, and then you could have easier access to the side tools. But I see that. The cool part about the tools being harder to access is that they are safer, and so people aren't going to steal your tools. So that's great. That's great, Dennis. Yeah, what stopped you on the side of the road? What broke? Because I always want to know, it's like, what are things that I might be able to carry or do whatever? I actually carry a full rethread kit for spark plugs in this truck. So I can rethread a spark plug on the side of the road. V10 life. V10 life is really fun. So, yeah. Just sitting in here, gonna hang out and answer any questions for excursion folks here. We are, just doing my weekly thing. I'm here every week. Don't ever know where the conversation is gonna go. Yeah, you never know. But currently, we are talking to a few great followers and just hearing some stories about the old excursions. Matthew's working on welding school right now. Keep that up, Matthew. That is a great thing. And then we've got Dennis, who scored, I don't know, maybe the best deal on an excursion around. So Dennis Dennis scored maybe the best deal around, and he's already been pulling his trailer with it for a really cheap Excursion. And so I'm impressed it's made it this far. And what do you got? You just filled up in Hungry Horse. Yep. Then we'll climb into steep hill leading up to the dam. I noticed it was smoking like crazy. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, hopefully not fuel dumping on the exhaust pipe. I had that when we left for our 6,000 mile trip. That's funny. It hid that message because you said tranny. That's really funny. Yeah, that happens, Dennis. That happens. Have you put the 6-liter cooler in it yet? You got to do the 6-liter cooler, and then you got to bypass. There's like a little valve on the transmission lines for the cooler that don't let it use the cooler until it hits like 130 degrees. So there's diesel power products. You can just walk in there. They probably have it in stock. Will have has a like valve delete thing that will make it to where all the time your transmission fluid runs through that cooler. So if you want to do that, I have worried about it for the cold. For the 6-liter cooler stuff, I have everything linked in my Amazon store. So if you go to the Bobbed Excursion build like list on Amazon, I've got all the hoses, all the reducers you need, the clamps and everything. And then I did a video on it showing everything on how to do it and using all those parts. So super easy. Just pop over. You can just type in trans, TRANS on my YouTube channel, like search thing, and it'll come. I think it's the second video. At least for me, it's the second video. Are they dead? Oh, the single links are dead. How about the link to my Amazon store though? If not, I'll go. That's a great. Thanks for telling me that. I would go in there and double check. But the ones in my Amazon store seem like they've been selling. So, but yeah, if you're able to get to my Amazon store, there should be clickable and usable links in that idea list, is what Amazon calls it, and that should have all the information. Wow, this is really loose. That has all the parts. And if that doesn't work, give me a minute, or not give me a minute, but let me go. Shoot me an email so I get a reminder, and let me go into the thing, because it doesn't cost you anything to help me through Amazon, but if you can buy stuff through my link, I make a percentage through Amazon. So it doesn't cost you any extra, but like you get to help me if you buy it through my Amazon store, which is so much better for me. If you don't care about me, that's fine. Yeah, I think it's interesting, Matthew, because people do, and I have barely started to overheat mine once on the 7.3, and it started to puke fluid a tiny bit, and I still have a factory cooler in that truck too. I have never changed it, and I have towed stuff. I've been way overweight for thousands of miles and never had an issue. So, oh, weird, Dennis. Even in any of my things. So like the Amazon store, I don't know if there's still a way to find it. I don't know if you're on Instagram, because that's an easy way to get to my link tree, which has a link to the Amazon store. And then TikTok, I also have it. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was like, the store is actually really hard to find on Amazon too. Amazon's made it to where you can't just see you later, Matthew. Thanks for stopping by for a little bit. Yeah, Amazon, I wish it was easier to find my store on Amazon. Like if you could just search Geeks 4x4. You do come up with Geeks 4x4 merch when you search Geeks 4x4 on Amazon. And then you can like go into the creator or something and might be able to, or one of the videos, I did a review on it, and I think you can click on it through that. But it's just so roundabout. Like I want Amazon to be able to find my profile when you search for Geeks 4x4. Sorry, Ossifer, what is up? Yeah, man. That's great. Are you not going to do the rear axle at the same time? The reason I ask, if you have the ability to buy the rear axle, you should. because it's the front axle's like 4 inches wider, so you're gonna have to run spacers on the back to make the rear the same width. Oh, you already have a rear. Sick. That's great, man. Where are you located, sorry, Ossifer? Oh yeah, Dennis. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad plan at all. I don't know. Yeah. Western New York. Cool. What are you paying for that? Just out of curiosity. How much is that front axle going for in New York? Out here, that front axle is going for a good deal is $750. Your average is $1,000 for that front axle. So, but you can buy like a core axle with nothing in it for a lot less. $350? Holy crap. That doesn't pay for my gas to get out there, but that is ridiculous. That's stealing. I need to find one for $350. Jeez Louise, that's awesome. How do I find one for $350? Is it rusted to crud, or is it just like this guy doesn't know what he has and giving you a good deal? Also, if you're in here and you have not hit the like button, you should do that. I have got the super chat going, so if you want to donate to the old Geeks 4x4, we are always taking donations. I am happy to answer any question you post in the chat. I also do consulting if you want to just do a one-on-one with me, and we just sit down and chat about excursions for a while. And also working on an excursion event April 9th through the 12th, 2026. And that is at Maris Adventure Park in Texas. Pretty cool up in the Panhandle. If you want more information on that, if you go to my Facebook page and you go to the events, you will find a cool event page for that, and it has some stuff. Sorry, Ossifer, that is an excellent deal. What are you paying all in for everything? Like, what is the whole swap kit and everything? It's a full kit essentially. It's gonna have, everything you need. It sounds like great stuff. I'm gonna text somebody really quick. I think it's gonna do weird stuff. Give me just a second. $23.50, not too shabby. And that's with the axle. So you're paying $2,000 for the ZF6, and I'm imagining it's everything, right? You're getting a clutch, you're getting the slave cylinder, all the stuff. That's awesome, man. Do you mean the ones in the door, Dennis? And a floor pan. Wow. You don't need the floor pan from what I understand. Except, yeah, somebody did say that the floor was higher, which is funny because I've talked about it for years and nobody else has ever said that the floor was higher. And then recently somebody goes, oh yeah, the floor is higher. And I'm like, what? Dennis, all the cables and stuff are attached, so it's kind of a pain. There's really not. I mean, they're just bolted in through the outside, and then the cables just suck. So, yeah. Yeah, see, that's funny, because, like, tons of people have ZF swap, but nobody has talked about that. So, yeah, apparently I need the pan to do it, too. Nice. The slot is in ours for the T-case. There's just like a plate welded or panel bonded over it. I've seen it. There's also, I think, the center slot for the stick, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. You always come in here and you just say most random vehicles. I don't really care about Teslas. That's what I thought. That's what I think about Teslas. Yeah. Doesn't matter to me. Not impressed by your computer-driven car. I like driving and I like engines. So yeah. No sound. Yeah, I mean, that would be weird for sure. I do agree with that. But it's cool that it's fast. I'm just not, I don't know, like I said, a computer-driven car gives me no interest. The Cybertruck is a wired steering that's not a direct connect to the axle, and that sounds even sketchier. So I don't need to have a wire between me and my tires. I like a nice solid shaft. Yeah, just a good, beefy, girthy shaft. So, anyway, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Dylan. I just want to know. What up, Meadow Dog? How are you doing? Recognize the name. Were you in here last week? I don't think you were able. I don't think you came in last week, but I recognize the Meadow Dog name. What is up? We also have memberships and stuff for the channel, so if you guys want access to exclusive member things, you should do that. I mean, why not? Oh, well, that's fine, Dylan. I mean, you know, somebody's got to have some fun on the internet. I only like my shafts connected to wheels. So, like drive shafts, steering shafts, you know, the usual. Axle shafts. Those are good. Country Taco, what is up? Thank you for swinging by. I am having a great day. It is actually my wedding anniversary today. Kind of crazy. Liam, you never emailed me back. It took me a while to find that email. It ended up in my spam. And so I emailed you back, Liam, but I haven't heard back from you. I do want to keep talking about that truck, so we can do that here, or we can do that on the old email. I want to see some pictures of the bad stuff. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I replied to the email. My reply was, the truck looks pretty good in those pictures. Send me pictures of the really bad stuff. That was my reply. Sorry, Ossifer. You want to... What is your plan with the truck? For me, personally, I'm going to go with the method bead grips all day. Meadow Dog, no sir. Oh, you're having trouble with it slipping out of gear and stuff? Yeah, perfect, Liam. Send that out there. Yomanez, the time is currently 4:21. That is good, Dennis. It's not great if you're having transmission problems, though. You always hope that you're like, oh, the fluid looks terrible. I'll just replace it. Now the fluid looks fine. Transmission is just garbage. I mean, you paid $1,300 for the truck. I would get like a built one or something. Hunter, you got some stuff, some real non-homemade stuff. Recon, who's Recon? What company are those? I don't know what those are. That's a real bead lock though, so that's different. I'm so impressed with these bead grips, guys. Yeah, Icon, cool. Yeah, that's rough, Dennis. That's not good. Yeah, Icon makes a nice wheel. Oh, cool. Yeah, so sorry, Ossifer, if you're going to wheel that thing and you're going to consider a method, you should be getting the bead grip. It's not that much more, and, well, I've run 8 without issues. Yeah, I get that, Dennis, yeah. Yeah, that's the deal with the bead grips, is for $250 a wheel, or it used to be. I think they've gone up. I think I paid $250 a wheel a while back. Digger Nick, how are you? When I bought these wheels. And the suckiest part about them is the fact that, like, there's only a couple designs in the offset and the size you want. So I wanted as wide as I could get, so 17 by 9, and then I needed the -12, and I needed... Oh... Yeah, that is way steep. And I needed -12, I needed 17.9, I needed 8 by 170, obviously. And yeah, I mean, if you want to be able to air down, sorry, Ossifer, it's worth getting them. But totally up to you. I get that. If you're not going to actually rock crawl it or wheel it, the bead grips aren't going to do you any good. But if you want to be able to run like 4 PSI and float on the snow, bead grips. The Excursion's right there, my friend. That's it. If you want to see more videos of it, there are tons of shorts, tons of videos on this channel. So yeah. Jeeping Adventure, what is up, my friends? Huh. They don't really smoke tires. They're pretty heavy. Yeah, you gotta find those misses. Have you replaced all the coils and stuff? The coils and the plugs with Motorcraft? That would be the first place I would start, Meadow Dog, is Motorcraft coils and plugs with any misfire. Especially if it's got a code on it. Jeeping Adventure likes their Raceline wheels a lot. They do make a really nice bead grip. Sorry, bead lock. I do like all those, and I do like I even like the beadlock rings. So Method just came out with one that has like a beauty ring, a rock ring. Dave Chappelle, Dirthead Dave, just put some on, and I went and looking at those. They don't make a single one of them an 8x170, except like an 18 maybe, and the 18 is useless because nobody makes a 40 in an 18, and so like I need a 17.9, but I really want that rock ring because I am beating the snot out of the outer edge of these wheels, and I would love to have that ring to be interchangeable and just buy a new one when it all gets jacked up. So I'm hoping that Method's going to keep going down that route, and I can get another bead grip with a ring on it at some point and keep running the bead grips. Biggest thing with the bead grips I love is that they're street legal. Your bead lock is not street legal anywhere. But neither is hydro steering, and neither is that stuff. So just depends on what you want. For me, I want to be able to go 70 miles an hour down the freeway and not have anybody complain. Dennis, yeah, Bob doesn't sound bad. There's no emissions on Bob, and it's got just a MagnaFlow or something, I think is what it is on there. And it dumps right in front of the axle. So it works good. Yeah, they're JBA headers. It really didn't change the sound, though. They're shorties, so they didn't really change the sound, but they fixed the exhaust leaks. That's what the headers did. That's why I put headers on it, because there were... yeah, we talked about the exhaust studs. The exhaust studs, that 19 of which fought me. And by fought me, I mean I had to weld multiple nuts to 19 of them. So, yeah, JBA, I think, even still makes them. A lot of these companies have stopped making them. So if you're planning on headers and you know a company currently makes them, I would buy them now. Because I waited like 6 months, a year, and I was going to do the Banks with the crossover and everything, and Banks stopped making them. So, didn't get Banks. Really a bummer. Really a big bummer, because I really like the Banks stuff on my other truck. I have a Banks Monster exhaust. Had a Banks chip forever until it died. Still have... What else does it have for Banks? It still has the trans command on it, but yeah, I don't know. It's good. Atale, from Washington State, my friend. Just here being the Excursion guy, hanging with y'all. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that's about what I paid for the JBAs, I think. Or it was like $500, I forget. Dennis, I will be honest, I am not the right person to answer that. I would think so, but I am not sure. Hunter, the rear springs are, so they're shackle flip. That's the first thing. PMF makes a shackle flip kit for the springs. And then, and then I ran that, so I took the overload leaf off, the one that just goes forward, and then I took the bottom two leaves off as well, and I went on a trip with it. And then when I got back, it was sagging pretty bad, so it had bent the top 3 springs. So I put the bottom 2 back on, and now it sits about perfect, about real nice. It was a little high was the problem when I first did the shackle flip, and so I needed to get it back down low. The plan for the rear end is 08 springs, the longer ones, and hopefully I can gain a little bit more travel and get the better ride from the longer spring. So the plan is that PMF, again, makes the brackets for the front of the rear spring to make them further longer out, just 6 or 8 inches longer. So Metal Dog, fuel pump, crank, cam. Yeah, man, you're in it deep, Meadow Dog. That would seem like the next thought to me. As long as you've done injectors and stuff, you could throw injectors at it too if you hadn't done injectors. Sorry, Ossifer. The reason I did it, it's twofold. The original shackle that goes up is limited. It limits travel. It just can't travel as far as down travel. And it's not made for that. It's made for towing and stuff like that. So to bring it down like this, the shackle can go all the way up and, go all the way back, and then it can spring all the way down. The other thing is there's a support in the back of the body that when you bob it 12 inches, sits right on top of the factory shackle. And so by flipping it, I got the shackle out of the way, and it would have been rubbing the body bob. So that's mostly the reasons. Those are the reasons I did it. It's a super common, like, off-road world. People flipping shackles is super common. Interesting, Dennis. Yeah, I would be interested. I think there is somebody possibly on the Facebook that has done that. Maybe not. I feel like it gets asked all the time, and I don't know that anybody has actually done that. So if you do it, make sure you document it and make it easy enough for the next guy. I hear the 3-valve V10 is actually pretty sick. I don't like the cam phaser stuff. They've had enough issues with those that, like, it's just not. I don't know. I do want the newer heads on my 2-valve. That would be where I would think about doing, is the newer heads on a 2-valve bottom end. And whenever I do that, it's gonna be great because I can fully replace the exhaust studs, considering there's still 3 in there. They ain't coming out. So yeah. The 6.8 didn't have the phasers. So what did they change in the 3-valve? It just has a 3rd valve in the combustion cylinder. Yeah, see, I don't know enough about them, obviously. Huh. And the 3rd valve is for what? It's another exhaust valve, or it's another intake valve? Yeah, that's what he just said. Sorry, Ossifer. Doesn't have the cam phasers. Well, that's interesting. Maybe that's why people love the 3-valve V10 so much more than the 3-valve 5.4. Interesting. Okay. Another intake, so it can put more air in it. See, that'd be cool. A bit more air. Was it more efficient, or like what was the big difference? Did it gain a bunch of horsepower? I don't know what the specs are on that. Is that actually like a better thing? What is that, Meadow Dog? Send the to BTT Memphis. I don't think I'm understanding what you're putting down, my friend. %41% of us in here are Excursion owners that have been in and out today. That's pretty good, pretty good. If you're in here and you have not put that like button to use, you should. It's a little thumbs up button. Monty, those first 2 generations of the Escape are awesome. I have a 2005 and it's stellar, so I would just do it. Whoa, that's a lot of miles, actually. Oh, got you, Meadow Dog. Yeah, BTT Racing in Memphis if you want head work. Yeah, that's cool. I have a, I don't know. I'm not gonna play with the heads. I'm everything that I do is for reliability on this. Okay. Yeah, what are the numbers? Because sorry, excuse me. What are the numbers on the V10? The V10 is like 225, and 300 foot-pounds of torque or 400 foot-pounds of torque. What is, yeah, what, tell me the numbers, the 2-valve and the 3-valve. Somebody can pull those up. Be interested to see those. Chris Hayes, my 2005 Escape, it's the hybrid, so it has the 4-cylinder in it, 1 point or 2.0, I don't know what the liters are. I don't know, I've driven that car. My mother-in-law drives that car. I have driven that car for like 2 months since I've owned it, and I've owned it for 5 years. So the 2-valve has 310 horsepower. Apparently, the 2-valve had more horsepower than a 7.3. That's funny. The Escape hybrids, Hunter, dude, they're awesome. Richard Martinez. All right. I mean, normally I'd say my thing about, I don't know where you are to be picking on people, but a your mama joke. That's fun. I appreciate that. Adelaide, it's the United States of America. We tax everything 8 times. I know there's no 3-valve Excursions, but the 3-valve, the Excursion never got the 3-valve, but the 3-valve was offered in the, I want to say, probably in the F-250s, and we're just, somebody's talking about swapping one, and I'm just curious what the numbers are. If horsepower is like, what is it, 350 then? How much more horsepower they got out of that 3rd valve on those? Yeah, Hunter, I 325 on the 3-valve? Oh, yeah. So it's only 15 horsepower? What's the torque rating then? The torque has to be so much better to be able to feel something. Or does it have more of a high rev? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Hunter, the hybrid Escapes, dude, they're sick. I think I lifted it. Oh, Panamera hybrid? Who needs that? Duck Ninja Dad, what is up? $425. That would be a good. Early Excursions, 275 to 310, 415 to 425. Later versions of the 3-valve boosted output to 362. Good to see you, Duck Ninja Dad. So, gained 50 horsepower. And there's the, oh no, only 25, 40 foot-pounds of torque. That's not a lot, Dennis. I mean, I do agree you could probably feel that. But man, that's a lot of work for not a bunch. I mean, a supercharger would be cheaper. And there's one for sale right now. Guy wants $3,000 for the supercharger setup for a V10, and I'm ready for that, but I don't want to spend $3,000. Yeah, the supercharger will get you more horsepower and probably more torque on the old, except then you're shooting spark plugs to the moon all the time because you got boost. Huh. Yikes. Yeah, Chris, mine has not dealt with that, luckily. I bought it for really cheap because it had the transfer case bad. That's the other big problem with them, is Ford didn't put a service interval on the transfer case fluid, and so the transfer case grenaded itself because it had 213-ish thousand miles on it when I bought it. It has 250,000 miles on it now. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Dennis. It's not, I mean, if you're pulling the motor, you might as well put it in, and if the wiring and stuff is similar for it, I mean, not too bad. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, the transfer case thing is a real fight in those. And it's the same way. Like my wife's 2016 Escape is the same. They actually put a drain plug in that one finally, and so you can actually change the fluid. So, yeah, I like wiring too, Dennis. A lot of people hate it. I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, that'd be sick. Sorry, Oscar. Yeah, put a little like 5 pounds of boost or whatever into it. Yeah, it's just a reliability thing. I think the supercharger is a more reliable option to me, and there's more room. There's not that much room in that engine bay to figure out the exhaust after a turbo. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, Metadog's right, Dennis. See, so here's the deal. If you're going to put a 3-valve in it, you might as well just go get a Godzilla motor, would be my thing, too. Is like, the Godzilla 7.3 is sick. And there was a guy working on that swap for an Excursion, but I haven't seen anything on it from a while, so. Yeah, Chris, that's very true. It's been great. Thing leaks oil all over the place. But it keeps enough oil in it to go between oil changes, and it works just fine. So, 1,000 horsepower. I don't think the 7.3 Godzilla is putting 1,000 horsepower out with not a ton of other mods. But it could probably take 1,000 horsepower, right? Again, I don't know a ton about that either. Those are kind of a newer, obviously newer motor. So much yawning today. So yeah. Liam, you still in here? Small turbo. Yeah, I mean, it's a small turbo, the V10, get 1,000 horsepower. No, you're not going to get 1,000 horsepower V10. So, yeah, I don't know. The swap work is interesting because you could put so many different engines in it, and you know, my problem with all the swaps is always getting all the rest of the stuff to work. Your air conditioner to work, your cruise control to work, all the stuff like that. That makes the thing really easy to drive. And yeah, Godzilla swap is not going to be cheaper than a 3-valve for sure. Godzilla swap 15K is, yeah. Well, I don't know where you'd get. I mean, you'd have to go find a wrecked truck to not get a crate engine at this point. And that might be a better way to do the Godzilla swap anyway, because then you just pull all the wiring and everything, and you could probably even retrofit the dash. I mean, you can probably even get all of that stuff in these trucks. Yeah, it's still modular. Chris, yeah, man, I would change exactly what Sorry Ossifer just said. Go buy yourself some Motorcraft plugs and possibly Motorcraft coils, maybe not, if they're okay. Maybe at least some boots for the coils. And take your torque wrench and get in there and torque them all down. That's the trick with the V10. A lot of people, I mean, the only reason they shoot is they start coming loose, and then they get out a thread or two, and then they pull out of the last 2 threads. And then 2 threads going back in, when you tighten it, is not enough. It'll hold for a second, and then you try and go to torque, and it won't do it. Essentially, they put just enough threads to hold the torque that they said. Yeah, that's awesome, Dennis. Oh, yeah, you said that. It was a 3-valve, too. Yeah, so you're doing good. And that one has phasers and everything, so you're doing even better with that 2008, 6 Navigator. 400,000 miles. That's insane. That is crazy. But, yeah, Chris, I would change the plugs on that baby. It is, and then make sure everything gets torqued to spec and all that. So, put yourself some new plugs, and I think the spec is dry. I forget. Is it dry or with anti-seize? I feel like I put anti-seize on mine. But yeah. Change them, check them every, I don't know what to say on this mileage-wise. I checked mine when I bought it. I've put 20,000 miles on it. It's time to check them again. But I haven't. I need to. I also don't have Motorcraft coils. And I've been told that you can actually feel a difference. And I know every once in a while it'll start missing, and it's probably because it's like an MSD coil though. It's yellow. It's go fast yellow, you know. Okay. Yeah, Dennis, that'll help. Put NSCs on them. Yeah, Chris, go buy Motorcraft ones. No, I mean, it's super common. The Fords really like Motorcraft parts. So if you can get your hands, I know it's way more money, but they'll last longer, and the truck will not mess with those coils until they go bad. But yeah, Fords really, really like Motorcraft parts. So it sounds like you did new Motorcraft plugs, at least, I hope. So, yeah, Ford's just, for some reason, they just love, it's really funny. I have a friend that is like always owned Chevys, and he's like, yeah, I just went down and bought this and this and this from AutoZone and threw it in there, and it's still doing this. And I'm like, well, it's a Ford. Fords are dumb. They like Ford parts. And, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Dennis. They're super sensitive. For some reason, I don't understand. They just, yeah, I don't know. They like Ford parts. Everything I've ever changed in my 7.3, I've tried to find a Motorcraft part. And, yeah. Change the plugs every 50. Yeah, see, that's interesting. Yeah, so just cut the plug in half, the plug life in half, and change them again. And at 50, they probably won't have rattled loose. Especially, like I said, take your freaking torque wrench to those plugs and make sure that they stay in there. Meadow Dog, yes, sir. It is a solid engine. That's why we all love them. The more I drive this dumb V10, the more I don't hate V10s. I did hate V10s a lot growing up. I thought they were dumb, and I didn't understand why anybody would own an Excursion without a 7.3 in it. But my 7.3 Excursion is awesome, and it will never go anywhere. But my V10 is not terrible. It is not that bad. Hey, if you haven't hit that like button, you should do that. Also, we've got the super chat going, so if you want to donate some money to the Old Geek, I would appreciate that. That'd be awesome. And we got a goal today. I don't know. Let's say our goal is $80 donations. We're about an hour in. We're gonna see what we can get on that. We're just gonna sit that out there, put it in the universe. Yeah. Yeah, Chris, I get that. I totally get that. If I had to do something on these, and as soon as you feel a miss or something like that, the first thing you should do is go put Motorcraft plugs in it. Even if you're running the NGK coils still, just put Motorcraft plugs in it. Dang, Meadow Dog, that's crazy. Broke a valve spring 3 times. Yeah, Chris. No, I get it. And that's the reason that mine still has those other coils on it too. I just know it has Motorcraft plugs in it, and so I've just kind of left them. But as soon as I get a miss bad enough that it annoys me, and like I said, I can feel it every once in a while. I can start feeling at a light or something. But it's been really good, and it's been fine. For some reason the Motorcraft plugs. Like I said, Fords just freaking love Motorcraft parts. That's just the deal. So anyway, hit the thumbs up if you're in here and you have not. Also, super chat, so you can donate some money. That would be awesome. Also, we're doing an Excursion event. If you have not heard about it, I don't know the name of it yet. Cylinder 3 exhaust spring. Dang. If you have not heard of the The Excursion event that is happening next year. It is April 9th through the 12th at Maris Adventure Park in Texas. About as central as I could find in this country. I will be driving 24 hours to get there. And I will be driving on 40s in a V10 that gets maybe 12 miles per gallon. So if you think it's too far, I just want to say that you're a crybaby. Just kidding. So yeah, if you haven't heard about the Excursion event, that's what you're looking for. Giggity Band. That is some great trending audio, my friend. Nothing is wrong with my V10. I just used the trending audio. And it was kind of funny. It did really well, actually. So, and you have people like you that saw it and thought stuff happened. So I appreciate you coming on here and saying. But V10 is solid. It's 230 plus thousand miles. It's somewhere over that because the tires are not right in the speedometer. And the old V10 is still kicking just fine. No big deal. So yeah. Still burning as much oil as ever. Yeah, it's, I mean, 6.8 with 10 cylinders is actually not that big a cylinder. It's kind of interesting. That is awesome, Chris. I am so glad, man. Giggity, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Sorry to mess with you. Meadow Dog, yes, is the answer. We're going to probably do a car show. We're going to probably try and have some vendors. There's camping there. There is some trails. We're going to do different trails every day. There's all kinds of different levels of trails. If you just want to come and camp, though, and hike and bike and do all that stuff, you're more than welcome to. There's also just dirt roads. There's extreme four-wheel drive trails. There's the whole gamut. The idea is to get as many excursions together as possible, and we're going to do excursion stuff, whether that be just hanging out, whether that be chats at night about excursion mods and stuff like that. We're going to have all kinds of things. So it will be a really good time. Like I said, if you go to my Geeks 4x4 Facebook page, under the events, you'll find that event page, and I've started that. And then I have an email list if you haven't gotten on that. I feel like that link is in there, but it might not be. Yeah. Not bad, Dennis. Yeah, 8.6. Man, it's almost double digits. That's like doing great. Yeah, the V10, and that's not bad. And that seems like where it sits. It's about 3 to 4 miles per gallon, maybe more unloaded, below the 7.3. Like, my 7.3 has never really gotten below 12 towing anything. And I've towed a lot of heavy stuff with my 7.3. And this gets 12 on the freeway unloaded. But then unloaded, my 7.3 will get close. We'll get close to 18, the 7.3 will get. So, yeah, that's not bad, Dennis. Meadow Dog, you'd still have fun on these trails, man. Yeah, you can come. You can come party. Not a big deal. We're all excursion folk, man. We're going to hang out. So it's going to be a good time. So, yeah. I mean, that's the idea. Get as many excursion owners together as possible. I know that everything... I know that I can't find a good enough location that has enough for everybody, right? So I'm just trying to find the closest that I can get. And Maris seems like a really good mix of a lot of the things that excursion owners want. A lot of guys tow trailers with theirs and do that. And it's about as central in the United States as I can find. So that is why I chose Maris. It is... Yeah, it's a long drive for me. It's a long drive for people from the other corners. But as you get more inland, you're getting closer. So it's cool. Dennis, but did it feel better? Sounds good, Meadow Dog. Are you on the email list or on the Facebook page or anything like that? So you keep getting updates. Can't buy tickets or anything yet. I haven't set all that up yet. Like, you guys are literally getting all the first information because you are my followers and my live. This event is not about Geeks 4x4. It is about excursion stuff. I'm just going to be there. So, and I'm happen to be the guy putting it on, you know. I'm not not trying to make this about me. I'm trying to make this about these awesome trucks and get as many people together as possible. So we're gonna have a good time. No family, no Facebook. Great. Meadow Dog, shoot me an email. I'll send you the link so that I can put you on the email list, and then I can be able to email you with all the info. Obviously, I'm going to talk about it on Meadow Dog. You're the one with the big limos and stuff, right? That's a better transmission, Dennis. I would use that transmission. Grunky Foo. Love that name. Wish I had that money. I would buy that mini bike instead of you. Don't have that money either, buddy. Sorry. But you guys can donate. Just kidding. Yeah, Meadow Dog. That's great. Yeah, email me, meadowdoggeeks4x4@gmail.com. And I will make sure you get this information. All right? Yeah, I'd always take another gear, Dennis. If you're going to do that swap, that's a good reason, I think, to really get your transmission better, to go up and get yourself another gear, get all the good stuff. Oh, got it. Cool, Meadow Dog. Yeah, yeah, it is probably better suited because it's got more gears, so it has more availability. Sorry, Ossifer, this is a 488s in here. Everybody said I should go 538s. The reason I went 488s, there's a couple of reasons. Yeah, Meadow Dog. Told me about the 513. You have 513s in yours? I don't remember the reason, Meadow Dog. I can't remember. The reason I went with 488s, the old-time rock crawler guys, and it's a complete myth, but whatever. The pinion gear is a little bit bigger. And so it puts more teeth on the ring gear, is what they say. It's actually not true. But the old-time rock crawler guys, a lot of them are running 488s because of that, because of the thickness of the gear of the 488, because of just a bunch of different reasons. I'm running at 2,400 RPMs down the freeway now, which is 400 RPMs above factory for this truck. That's at 70 miles an hour. And then I would have been at 27 with a 538 or a 513. 513 and 538 is only like 150. It's like the next middle ground. It's like a 538 or 513 would have put me at like 5,500 or something. Yeah, Hunter, I'm curious, and yours is actually a 40, or are you going to keep the 37 on that? And you found the axles with the 513, so it makes total sense. I think that you'll be happier with it, honestly. This thing's still pretty doggy on the highway. I just don't care. It does really well off-road, and yeah. Okay, yeah, so I'll be curious to see, like, I think you're going to be at like 2,550 or 2,600 RPMs at 70 miles an hour, and I'm curious to see if you get better fuel mileage than me. What is that, Meadow Dog? I mean, I appreciate being thanked, but I don't remember what we're talking about here. Yeah, no, you killed that, Hunter. Like, yeah, you can't. My gears cost me more than that. So I would have gone with anything that would, if that was a 538 in those, I would have been putting that in. So, yeah. Louisville, what is up, man? Just wondering how to get alerts for live. Proud 7.3 and V10 owner. That's awesome, man. Louisville, I really don't know how to get alerts for live. I can tell you, and you can set one up. I'm here currently. It's going to have to change probably in September, but I am here right now, Wednesdays, every single Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific, and then I'm here. I'm typically here until at least 6. So 4 to 6, I'm live. So if you can come hang out, would love that. We got the Super Chat going, so you guys can donate if you want to donate to the cause of Geeks 4x4. And We've got thumbs up things going. You can share this. You can post to that. You can do all the stuff. And we're just talking excursions every week. And it's getting better and better literally every week. This chat has been excellent. You guys have all been talking about excursion stuff, so it's super cool. Yeah, I'm sure it did notice. Oh, you get a notification? Maybe Louisville. You can turn on, if you hit that little notification bell by my name, if you go to my profile, maybe when you do that, it will notify you. And if you have your like email turned on and stuff, you'll get a note. Do you get an email, Hunter? Hunter just loves me so much that that he, you know, has all the notifications on. Hunter, I missed you in Moab. You went by me as we drove into town. Oh, well, you have to be a subscriber. Yeah, yeah. Louisville also should do that. Louisville, also, if you're still here, you got to tell me about those 7.3 and V10s, man. You got 2 excursions like me? Yeah, man. Yeah, Meadow Dog. I'm trying to be the excursion guy, man. I'm trying to help bring this community together and get us a spot. We have all... we're kind of a classic. We're kind of classic truck now, and so we need the spot. And so I'm hoping to help foster that and be that guy, and you know, create events and do stuff like that. What year Trans Ams you have? You're probably later. My dad bought a '73 Trans Am, brand new, and it's still in my family. My dad passed away a couple years ago, but the car is still around. And it's still a completely original 455 car with the first year with the chicken on the hood. So it's pretty special. It will never go anywhere either. So someday I'll have it in a place where I can show it to you guys and do stuff around. But right now it's in Arizona in a family member's garage. Still being driven. Don't worry. So Hunter, yeah. So I felt so bad because I saw you like day one when we rolled into Moab, and then I never ever saw you go by me again. And I was like, where'd my buddy Hunter go? Yeah, Meadow Dog. Well, I think you know my story. Then well, I didn't do it. My grandpa did. My grandpa bought an 01, an 02, and an 03 7.3 Excursions. My family had all of them for 20 years. My brother had one. My aunt had one. They sold in the last few years. But I still have the original one, that white 01 7.3 that you guys know from the channel. And then I bought this guy to, you know, do dumb stuff with and beat up the really rear door. Nice, Dennis. Yeah, what engine's in that? The 460. Yep, there you go. Yep, E40D is super similar to the 40100. I don't know that either of them are even better than each other. They're just like similar. 460 is a great engine. Terrible fuel mileage always, but yeah, great. No, I didn't win anything. I didn't mean to hide that message, Meadow Dog. But I didn't win anything. I just got really, really lucky. And, you know, Grandpa blessed us with those trucks, and we have used the heck out of them. And I just want this community to grow, and I want these trucks to stay on the road. And so I am trying to be the guy. I have no idea how to be the guy. Trying to figure out how to make being the guy make some money so that I can be the guy more full in. But that's been the hardest thing. So yeah. Well, that's not bad, Dennis. Louisville is still in here. Great. Bone stock 0173 325. Nice. Nice. Good old Alice, the 2000 V10. You are mimicking me, Lewis. So yeah, my 7.3 is an 01. It has 3 350 on it almost now. I don't know if I passed 350 yet. It's like 349 or something. And then this is a 2000 with the V10. It has some more miles, 230 though. So I think you've chosen right to daily a V10 and have the 7.3 as backup. So you understand when I say I'm impressed with the V10, but I will never sell my 7.3. So, and you're a longtime owner. Yeah, 11 years. That's great, man. That's awesome. 6 years on the V10. I'm at 22, so I'm at 4 years this January. Oh, that's awesome, Dennis. Yeah, see, this is the kind of stuff, like, those are the vehicles, right, that we all keep and that we all love. People are like, what do you want what do you want to be remembered by? Or what do you know, I think I want a cool enough vehicle that my kids want it. And not just like some random vehicle that needs to be given away or done whatever. My dad got sick super quick, lung cancer, and died in like 6 months. And he was driving a Grand Cherokee at the time, and that thing just like fell apart after he died. So we had to get rid of that. But we have the good cars, the ones that actually matter. Him and I built the LJ together. I don't know if you guys have seen. I post randomly pictures of it, or you see in the background. The Jeep Rubicon Unlimited. And we built that together years ago, and I still have that. And then the Trans Am, yeah, that'll never go away. That's Dad's car, man. So that's I get it. I get keeping that stuff. Those are the special ones, and yeah, they're cool. The best part about my grandpa buying all the 7.3 Excursions is that he was a GM guy. And I feel like I talk about this every week, but like in the 90s, he had a Suburban, and the Suburban needed like 3 transmissions before it hit 100,000 miles. And so he got mad at General Motors because General Motors screwed him and made him put all these things and didn't warranty and all the stuff, you know. And so he went and bought Fords. And little did he know he was going to buy one of the best Fords ever made, I think. I can't think of anything better. So, you know, some people would say a Mustang or something, but man, these Excursions are so good. They're so versatile, and they're so useful. You can do anything with them. Pull a house, okay. Take all your friends to anywhere you want to go, okay. Pull your boat with all your friends, okay. Drive it around because it's comfortable enough, okay. Tito. Yeah, man. So that's up to you. Depends on how deep you want to be going down the road. Your stock gears are a 373. You would probably be pretty darn happy with a 456 on a 35 on a V10. 488 would go really deep and give you all kinds of power, but you're going to be running a lot of RPMs on the highway, so I don't think that's going to help your MPGs. That was a big gust of wind. So I would think about a 456 on a 35 with the V10. I feel like that's where I would sit. I'm also the lower gear person. If you're towing trailers all the time, 488 makes tons of sense. But yeah. Exactly. See, you get it. Yeah. Yeah, that's great, Dennis. That's great. Dennis is our #1 commenter on this here live. Which means he was in here like first. I have no clue what this means. He has a little crown next to his name, and I don't know if you guys can see that too. It's pretty exciting. YouTube tells me that these are cool things, and I don't know anything about them. Well, now he's jumped to #1 actually with that comment. He was #3 with his last comment, so no idea. But yeah, 488. So you can go to 37s, Tito. Be happy still. That would be the trick. 37s will fit. If 35s fit, you can fit 37s, no problem. Yeah, I have no clue what that means. It's a little crown, though. And you, sir, are carrying the #1 crown currently in the comment section. So, That's pretty sweet. That means you have to donate a bunch of money. Just kidding. uh, yeah, so anyway, I don't know. YouTube said it was cool. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I do have an Amazon store that has a bunch of lists with Ford Excursion parts and stuff like that. So if you're looking for anything specific, I've tried to put everything. Actually, just got sent something today. It's like our door rebuild kit for these something in the door latch. I don't even know what it is. And I'm gonna put that in there too because a bunch of people are talking about that. And just trying to make it easy so you guys can go to my store and find Excursion parts. I know, man. Yeah, Dennis, we missed you the last couple weeks. We had a great live last week, actually. We had like, I think the total was 1,700 viewers, 600 plus comments. It was a wild one. Yeah, there is, Tito, there's a wire that comes out of the back of the light switch that turns on all those lights, and I would wonder if you didn't hurt that wire somehow putting the dash back on or something like that, or that wire's frayed or something. I can't remember what it is or anything about it, but I feel like I've had that problem before because somebody teed into it to wire in my my gauge lights on my extra gauges for the Banks kit. Dennis, I do agree, but pretty much everything on that list, except these couple things that people have sent me. There's like a door seal and then this door whatever kit thing I have bought. And so I've tried everything that I put on these lists. So I'm not sending you like I said, the transcooler and stuff. I bought everything on Amazon and I used it all to put it in. I did not buy the hose, I don't think. And I used like fuel injector clamps. But I did buy that Dorman cooler on Amazon and all that stuff. And I always buy stuff with a return. So you got to watch that. Make sure you buy it with the returnable. Meadow Dog, thank you. Man, I don't know if I'm the godfather, but man, I appreciate that, Meadow Dog. Yeah, and that's one of the big things I try and tell people. I'm not just sending you to an Amazon list. I'm sending you to a list of stuff that I've purchased. So that's my hope, right? Is that like I'm gonna try and get this stuff and see if it sucks. And if it sucks, I take it off the list. And like my headlights, there's a list for the Bob Excursion build, right? And people are like, I love those headlights. And I literally am the worst salesman ever because I make like $3 a sale when people buy those headlights. And essentially I post the link, I give them the link and I go, here's the headlights. They look cool, but the light output is garbage. It's just, I'm not a salesman. I'm not going to give you guys stuff that I don't trust. Some of my Amazon videos, literally, if I don't have nice things to say, I literally just show the product when I'm doing that. So, oh man, Dennis has become a member of the geek community. He is a geekster. Welcome to the membership clan, Dennis. Your name is now going to show up in green. So you're going to be pretty darn sweet in this thing. And if I'm all right, I will post things more often to my members. Ramon, what is up, guy? How are you doing today? Tell them run 6.0 transmission coolers. Yeah, everybody should run transmission coolers. The 6.0 cooler. I need to go put one in my 7.3. It is stupid that I don't have it in there, but I just haven't done it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which one of these transmissions is gonna go first. That one's got it now in a higher tune. It was like slamming into second, which I really don't like. This one, though, it loses pressure when it's on a thing. You want the Duraley. Yeah, see, and there's a bunch of different brands, obviously. And yeah, I don't know which one's gonna go first. If the 731 goes again, I'm gonna spend too much money on a built one because the Ford Reman, that transmission right now has like not even 70,000 miles on it, and that's not great. Not a big fan of that. Hunter, you did it in the V10 with that you're gonna go big with because you need it. You're gonna need the bigger cooling for wheeling. I was having trouble with mine. That's like the hottest, and I've never really watched transmission temps, because I had a mechanic that was very smart, and said, "Hey, your transmission never really overheated until you had a gauge." So I never put a transmission. There's not a gauge on my 7.3 to watch my temps. I just don't kill it, and that works. And there's not a gauge on this one either, but I plugged in stuff, and I've watched it, and it got to like 230 climbing some stuff. Yeah, Hunter, that I love free stuff, so yeah. Switching out the... Okay, so Dennis, I think you're talking about that valve swap that I'm talking about. You got to switch that valve. Ramon, I feel like you got... Didn't you get a TRX stolen last week? You just get tons of stuff stolen every week, man. You burnt a 4R100 up, 6R cooler. Yeah, Meadow Dog. Yeah, no, Dennis, it does work for a gauge. And I've watched stuff, and it's not a big deal. I watched this truck. Like I said, I watched this one a lot when I first put the big tires on it because I was really curious what it was going to be doing. So when we did the Washington Backcountry with the 40s on it, I saw like 230, 235 trying to climb stuff in two-wheel drive. And that's when I realized, hey, I should use too low and not lock the hubs in and just run that way. And that helped a lot. But then after that, I put the 6-liter cooler in it, and it typically runs at like 140 down the highway now. Oh, interesting. Is that like rethreading stuff, Dennis? That sounds a little sketchy. I don't love rethreading cast stuff if it's rethreading. Tito, the best upgrade you can do to a V10? I mean, headers to get rid of the exhaust tick. There's no other reason to do them either, because it really doesn't give you any more power or fuel economy. But the headers get rid of the exhaust tick. So that's a pretty big deal. Pretty nice if you do it right. Honestly, there's really not big upgrades. The 6-liter transmission cooler, I guess, you could say is another one. The V10 is so good. I am extremely impressed with it. It's not going to ever win big races and not going to ever do that, but it just does the job. Doesn't complain too much. It complains more than the 7.3, but it doesn't complain too much. And yeah, I'm just really impressed with the V10. Yeah, if you want a race car, it's not the right motor. But if you just want something that's reliable and just works, I think it's great. So we got 40 votes down here. Oh, we got 50% of us in here today have been Excursion owners. So that's pretty cool. Silvestre, what up? Dennis, did you put it neutral or park to try and get it into 4 low? Because if you didn't, that was the deal. It won't shift to 4 low on the fly. I imagine you did. Oh, fun. Silvestre, bro, what up? Okay, interesting. You haven't had that yet. Hoping that I don't have to deal with that. That's awesome, Tito. Yeah. If you got one with 280 on it that doesn't burn oil, I want to know what your secret is, because mine burns oil like heck. It's not that bad. It's like 1,000 miles a quart. PS5, yo, what up? With the Riz into his house. And if you guys are popping in here right now, don't forget to hit that like button. We got a goal of $80 today on the Super Chat. If anybody wants to add to that, that would be awesome. Dennis very much could be the switch. Very much also could be the shift motor, because they're electrically shifted. One of the big reasons that I would like to put a manual transfer case in mine, because it just scares me. scares me on the trail. I don't want it to not go into four-wheel drive, and I also don't really want it to not come out. So, manual shift seems a little bit less sketch. But yeah, switch is going bad. You could put some dielectrical grease on those connectors or something and see if there's a pin or something in there that wasn't touching all the way. Did the light come on the dash? What's up, West Coast crawlers? How are you doing? Glad to have you here. If you're just joining, you should hit that thumbs up button. And we got the super chat rolling. We got a goal of $80 if you want to contribute to that. And we also are doing memberships. We just got a new member today. And if you want to be a member of the Excursion cult, just kidding. Yeah, it's an Excursion cult of the Geeksters. You can join the membership thing. It's all good stuff. Walmart oil, perfect. You're running Rotella T6, which is the 1540, isn't it? Must not get cold where you are, because guys have been talking about wiping cams out with too thick of oil on these V10s. I don't want to do that. Ford OEM filter. Yeah. So you mean you're not going to Jiffy Lube like me? I'm running Pennzoil and Jiffy Lube's crappiest filter. Because, why not? Oh, it's 530 after Rotella. Perfect. Yeah. What I'm running? 530? I think it's actually 520. And that's what the engine calls for, is 520. 30 wouldn't hurt, though. Wisconsin. Yeah, the 5-weight is good. I tried 1030 when I first bought mine. That didn't change the burn rate at all. But then, yeah, I did hear about some things where people were burning cams with too thick of startup oil in the cold, and so I went to back to the actual 5-weight. Oh, yeah. It should be 530. I don't remember. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this out. Ah, it's 520 that I have currently. From your favorite place, Walmart. Yep. I just buy whatever oil I can when I'm on the road. That's not the oil I actually run it. But I do run that to fill it back up when it burns it. Because it burns it, always. It's fun. It's fine. It's fine. It's supposed to. I also run the Lucas, like the high mileage stabilizer stuff, and that has slowed it down significantly. So I think it saves me the cost of it in oil, and I run something that's supposed to be stabilizing the oil. So, yep, good old Excursion life. Run what you can, and yeah. Yeah, Dennis, sometimes Walmart's all you can walk into late at night and get your stuff. So, or no, it was right before we left. I think I bought that oil in Missouri. Right before we left Missouri, we were just sitting in a Walmart parking lot, and I was like, I probably need oil before we drive home. And sure enough, bought some oil. I just carry a gallon of it all the time because I go through that on a trip. It's really fun. It's really exciting. So I go through a gallon of oil. I just change the oil mid-trip, right? Yeah, I'm not. That gallon is like $16. It's dirt cheap. It's the same oil. Yeah, that's what it's about. Just keeping oil in it. That's the trick, I think. A lot of people don't realize. My secret to good skin, Machine Daddy 420. Laying under cars, getting dirt to pelt it, is a nice exfoliant. And then using that motor oil to rub into your hands. Make sure your hands are nice and black with oil and grease whenever you possibly can. And then the trick to get them back to perfect like this, Dawn dish soap. Nice and soft, perfect, really nice. If they're really bad, the gritty orange soap, again, just perfect. See? Machine Daddy, you get me. Ancient Sumerian Excursioners, what is up, my friend? I don't recognize your name, so I'm glad you finally have made the live. Glad you're here. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, excluding the transmission fluid that you put in there. Yeah, how far did you go, Dennis? Not very far, though. You just went into Montana. I'm talking like I said, I burn about 250,000 miles. And when I go to Utah to wheel, I drive 1,000 miles there and 1,000 miles back. So I put a cord in it when I get there, pretty much, and then I put a cord in it when I get home, or about halfway through coming home when I forget to put a cord in it when I get there. Yeah. And then on this 6,000 mile trip I actually only went through 3 or 4 quarts. There's more than 2 likes. There are 14 likes. You guys can only see 2? Interesting. Yeah, we need more likes on this page. If you're in here and you have not hit that thumbs up button, you freaking should. There's also a sweet super chat feature going on right now that we're trying to get to $80 today, because I've never said $80 before, and we've never no, we have gotten there. And would love for people to contribute to that. So, want to hit up the super chat? That would be awesome. I'm out here today. It's a Wednesday, and I'm always here on Wednesday, but today is my 9-year wedding anniversary. So my wife is pretty, she's fine. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. That's what I'm sacrificing today, to hang out with you guys. But I am loving this conversation. This has been, honestly, I think one of the best lives that I've had in a long time. I don't have anybody helping me post links, so that's kind of annoying, because my friends are driving currently. But you know, if you want to go to the Amazon store, or if you're interested in the Excursion event is going to happen April 9th through the 12th in Maris Adventure Park in the Texas Panhandle. It is going to be the first big-time Ford Excursion event, see how many people we can get together event, that anybody has ever done. And so if you want to be a part of number 1, you need to come. And if you want to wait till year 2, you're lame. But yeah, want you guys to come, want you to hang out, and yeah, just get as many excursions together as possible. So that's what I'm about. That's what we're about here. Yeah, trying to do the good stuff. What else we got? What other questions we got? Last week I felt bad I had to take off, so yeah, not bad, Dennis, not bad. Tito, I have not in person for sure, because Ford never built them. But do you have one? Did somebody cut a sunroof in yours? Because that's awesome. What they do for the overhead console? And did they put like a F-250 one? Oh, that's awesome. Do you think it's from like a Super Duty, or is it some sort of aftermarket one? Because the Super Duty, I mean, I think you could get a Super Duty with a with a moonroof or whatever, sunroof. And yeah, for some reason Ford just didn't do it. And I don't, the amount of work that it would take to fix the headliner, the headliners in these trucks are so big, and the amount of work that it would take in the headliner would just be like, ugh. This one would be easy to put a sunroof in now because there's no headliner in it. Just start cutting. Which I don't know anybody that does that, so. Nice. That's awesome, Tito. Did they, like, repaint the truck when they did it, or is it perfectly cut and dropped in? There's some nice gusts out there. Moving the doors. Moving the garage doors. Supposed to go out on the boat a little later. We'll see. We'll see if this wind is gonna make that, allow that to happen or not. All right, we're about to hit 50 votes in the poll. If you have not voted on the poll right now, you should go vote on that, and we'll hit that 50 votes. Last week got 150, so a little lower this week. It's kind of funny. It goes up and down, back and forth, but this conversation has been stellar. You guys have all been in here for a really long time talking about the excursion stuff. Yeah, Dennis. Yeah, man. It's the smoke is starting to come in from the wildfires over here in the center, and it's kind of annoying. Got 47% of people that have been in here today are Excursion owners, so that's pretty cool. It's a pretty good percentage. Pretty exciting. Yeah, Dennis is like ruling this chat today, guys. He is the #1 contributor. That is the crown. On next to his name is the #1 commenter today. He also became a member today, so gets the real crown for the membership. He's a geekster now. That's awesome, Tito. Yeah, it got really smoky out in the flats. I was up in Quincy today, and it was not good. In the canyon, it was okay. So we'll see. Maybe I could sneak out on the boat later. Trying to have dinner on the boat for our anniversary, but maybe not. We'll see. Maybe we'll have dinner in the jacuzzi instead. Yeah, that is awesome, Tito. That is, if people wanted that, that's great. You should. So Tito, you can post a picture of that truck, and you should with the sunroof, on my thing, on my YouTube channel. If you go to my community and you go like community post or something like that, there's a way for you to post a picture on my community page on YouTube. And you should go do that because I always love to see people's excursions. That goes for anybody. You guys can all post pictures of your excursions on my YouTube channel. If you go to my community page, something about community posts or something like that, and you can post a picture of your excursion on my page. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's not fun, Dennis. Can we all agree that the Bronco 2 is a mini excursion? I don't know. I do like the Bronco 2. But I don't know if I would call that a mini excursion. A mini excursion to me is an expedition. And then a micro excursion is an exploder. Maybe a tiny excursion. Just kidding. I don't know. I freaking love the Bronco 2s. I think they're awesome. I actually really like the Bronco Sports too. People have great opinions on those. But I think those are really cool. That Ford did a decent job of making something decently capable and that looks pretty good. The grill on them is sick. And I have a 2016 Edge, which is like the same platform, and that is the best vehicle I own in the snow, as long as the snow isn't deep. Does that make sense? Like if you're actually driving on an icy road, I will take the Edge over the Excursion all day because the all-wheel drive and stuff is just that much better. So, yeah, and I don't want to wreck the Excursion, so I'm always driving that. Heck yeah, Dennis. Dennis, how many cars have you owned? You used to have everything, man, or you still have it. I love it. 300K, and you drive them into the ground, too, is what's really impressive. It's like not everything is just like, oh, yeah, I used to have this and I sold it. No, I had 300K on it. Giggity! Excursions don't seem old. My 2003 is almost the same age today as my brother's night. Yeah, I know. And that was already an old truck. Isn't that crazy, Giggity? It's just like, I don't think it's that old either. And it doesn't feel that old. It feels modern enough to have all the good technology, as far as like making the engines run well and all that stuff. Man, we're getting to the age. The newest Excursion at the end of this year, and I don't know when the last ones were built. There is somebody has told me and found that there was some built in like 06 and early 06. But like pretty much the newest Excursion you could possibly get at the end of this year, you're talking 20 years old. And that, makes you feel old. Tito, yeah, that's awesome, man. I do like driving my Excursion in the winter as well. I have terrible tires on it right now. That's not helping, but that's crazy, Dennis. But my Excursion is great in the snow. It's one of the best driving vehicles in the snow I've ever had. but the Edge is just better. The all-wheel drive on the Edge is with, and I put Michelin Defenders on it, so it's like a ridiculous all-season tire. It's like a winter tire. It's like hard to get the thing to spin, and it stops. Like you can slam on the brakes in full ice, and it will stop because the way the ABS is set up, I don't even know. It chatters for a second, and then it just goes, and you're like, what? So it's pretty cool. But I agree. If the snow is like 3 feet deep, the Excursion is not going to get stuck, but the Edge will. Sorry, Ossifer, our number 2 contributor from today hasn't even posted in a little bit. He's still number 2. Man, the rest of you guys got to get caught up here. Yeah, man. I don't even know what that is. Is 25 really the classic thing? It depends on the state. I was looking at that because I was thinking that it was 25 years I could get a classic plate on Bob, but in Washington it's like 30 or something stupid before I can get a classic plate on Bob, which I don't know that they'll love. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what they're gonna think in other states either while I'm driving through. But the truck only drives. It doesn't get driven every day. It only drives 10 to 15,000 miles a year, which is a lot. But it drives those in like 2 or 3 trips versus every day. So I don't know. I don't know what they'll say on that. But yeah. GP effects. I didn't say that, so it's a really interesting comment to bring up. So I'm just gonna put you hidden from this channel because you know. Yeah, no, Tito, the Excursion is excellent in the snow. It is, I mean, it's because of the weight. And I always thought that there wouldn't be a vehicle that's better. And then I've been and it's really, like I said, it's a difference between snow and ice, right? Like if I'm in deep snow, the Excursion's way better. But if I'm driving an icy road, I also am now to the point with my Excursion, my 7.3, and that it's getting in the back of my brain that I have owned it for 25 years, and if something happened to it, I would be very, very sad. And so it is not as exciting to drive that in the time when everybody's being an absolute moron as it used to be when I didn't think about those type of things. Now it's like, how would I replace this if that idiot does something stupid enough to hit me? Where my wife's car or other vehicles, it's like, I can replace that. But the Excursion is like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to go fight insurance to get enough money for it, what I think it's worth, and then I'm gonna have to go find another one that I don't know anything about. And this one I've owned since the day it was driven off the dealership lot, and I don't want to ruin that. So this one I can send in the snow and I don't care. But its tires are absolute garbage. For the ice. For the snow, great. Ice, terrible. Over 51 votes. We got 47% of us are Excursion owners. Pretty cool. Yeah. So that's the deal, Tito. It's really just, you know, you have all that stuff. You should get compliments, man. You got an Excursion with a sunroof. It's awesome. I told you guys everybody in here about the event, right? So we're doing an Excursion event, the first ever, trying to get as many Excursions together as possible. That is going to be April 9th through the 12th, Maris Adventure Park in Texas. It's a long ways. It's a long ways from me. It's a long ways from a lot of you. That's okay. It's about as crazy as we can get. And yeah. So pretty fun. If you want information on it, go to my Facebook page. You can see Geeks 4x4 on Facebook, and then you can see events, and it'll be in there. Also, if you're a wheeler and you want to come to Trail Hero, it's rad. Yep. Yep, totally, David. Or Dennis, sorry. I don't know why I saw David. Crazy adventures and reviews. That's a really interesting thing to come in here and say. I don't understand why that would be your first comment on somebody's live. But I'm sorry for you and the way that you think. But I'm sure your channel is really cool. And it's a really weird first impression to give. So thanks for commenting, though, and adding to the conversation. Love the Navigator. Yeah, that's awesome. Tito, I hope there's a gas station close enough that has unlimited fuel, because we're going to need it. So Maris Adventure Park in Texas, it is right outside of Amarillo. And I hope that they have a gas station close. There is a town right there. So there's one gas station at least. And we're going to be using it to its full potential as this event grows. Maybe even the first year. Who knows? How many of you are going to come? I don't know. But that's why I'm telling you the date right now if you want to get the time off and do the thing. Well, gas stations are going to be the biggest profitable company on. They're going to make the most money on us for sure. And all the gas stations in America, as we drive across the country, there's going to be like a gas crisis because we're going to use so much fuel driving across the country to get there that nobody else is going to have fuel. But it's going to be epic. I need to get like Chevron to sponsor the thing. Like why would they not? I mean, that's what needs to happen. So the hope is we're going to do some sort of vendor show. We're going to do talks every night about different excursion things. Hoping to bring some diesel, but get some diesel people to come and talk about diesel things, and maybe have a bulletproof your 6-liter class, and or go over, somebody goes through your engine and, helps you define everything that's going on. Should we have a fix-it class? I don't know. You guys need to also give me ideas. What do you want? If you're going to drive a day and a half, 2 days to come to an excursion event, what do you want? What do you want at the excursion event? Yeah, Dennis. Yeah. She ain't cheap to fill up. Can I edit this? I can't do anything with this. End Q&A. Adding a new question up here, folks. I think you guys can just click on it and answer, but I don't really know. Yeah, sorry, Ossifer, we might need that. Yep. Yeah, we're paying like the third highest in the country, I think, in Washington State for gas. So as soon as we get out of here, the good news is I can make it from here to Post Falls on one tank. And so yeah. Okay, dive into the good food thing. So there's an option to have the place that I'm hosting this, sorry, Ossifer, do some meals for us. That would be really cool. Would you be willing to pay more for a ticket to get good meals? Or, it's expensive to feed a lot of people. And so we'd have to, do the tickets accordingly. But they do have that option. You could bring in some local people. Like I said, it's Texas. They probably have barbecue. They probably have good stuff. And that is obviously going to be the easiest way for me to do it because I don't know the area. I don't know it's a long ways from Amarillo. I don't know if we could get like a food truck or anything. It would be like us doing it or us potlucking or something otherwise? And what do you feel like about paying more for good food? I got you guys all beat. I can fill mine for, it's like $70. The tank's only 23 gallons though. So that's like 60 or $70. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I try and be around quarter tank, and it's typically $60 to fill Bob. Again, the tank is only 23 gallons. Yeah, see, like the good stuff, right? So, like, but sorry, Oscar, like, would you be willing to pay more money per ticket to get good food? Because I've been kind of going back and forth of like, do I make it to where the tickets are cheaper? Because this is a private park, so they have to, you know, cover all their insurance. They have to cover the trail guides. They have to cover all this stuff. So we're gonna have an entry fee ticket, and my initial thought is make the ticket as cheap as possible. But what do you guys think about that? Would you rather have more things and a little bit more expensive ticket, or what would you rather have? What does this look like in your? Because we're all gonna be spending a lot of money to drive there. All right, Tito, I hear that. And we can do a meal one night too, and that's kind of my thought, is maybe one meal and then maybe a potluck, maybe something like that. I don't really know what the other meals are going to be. Like I said, we're all going to be camping. There's tons of room for people's camping trailers. So people could bring and cook crazy things, and you know, out of their home kitchens, because they have a camping trailer. And there's some cabins there. There's a bunch of different stuff. And so, okay, well, I will, once I get I need to talk to the guy and figure out all the ticket price stuff. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to make it make sense to where we're not going to ask you guys for a lot of money for a ticket. Yeah, and there is a decent town there, so I think that there is a decent grocery store. Yeah, because I agree. I mean, I want good stuff, right? We need to have good food, and then we need to have good conversations over that food. Not bad, Dennis. Yeah, Tito. Well, yeah, that was one of my thoughts too. Yeah, one night have one that's provided by the park, and then the next, there's two or three nights, I forget the way it lays out. And then the next night we could do a potluck, or just another night of like anything else. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I want to make the event work for everybody. I know that it can't, what I'm worried about is it getting like they have some events that are $700 a ticket for the weekend. And like, does that seem insane to you guys? And I'm just curious. Like, I really don't want the price for our tickets to be that high. But like, I feel like if you're driving a long ways and then you have to pay $700 to be a part of this event, like, it feels like a lot of money. And so I want to see them, what I want to see is under $300 for the weekend. That includes your camping, that includes your trail guides, that includes all the stuff. $300 for the weekend. That's what I would love to see. What do you guys think? You think do you think 700 is too much? You think 700 is okay? What do you per se? Because you guys are my close people, so I want this event to be planned around what works for. And if it works for us, it's going to work for everybody. So, just want to know what your thoughts are on that. Yeah, so 700 feels like a lot, right? Does 300 feel better than 700? I know it still feels like something, but also you're going to a private off-road park and getting private tours if you want them of the park, and you're getting all your camping. The 700 would be would probably be most of the meals and stuff. For like if somebody, I think that's what they do for like, so they do trail recon and Toyota summits and all that stuff, and then those tickets are like $700. Okay, a single catered. Yeah, and we could bring in outside caterers too. They just have all those connections, so that's pretty much what they do is they bring in a caterer. Like I said, a one catered meal seems like a lot of sense. I think if it's, I don't know what the breakdown is, but I really think that if it's $700, they think they're feeding you breakfast and lunch for 3 days, and you're getting all the access to the park. You're getting trail rides and stuff like that. If you're not a trail ride person, obviously that 700 is not going to feel as good, because then you're just paying for food and camping for the weekend. Okay, yeah. See, that's my thought. Sorry, Ossifer, is like if I can figure out how to get it to be $100 a night, and we can include as much as if we can include a meal for that, it feels like that's kind of the route that I'm hoping. $100 a night doesn't seem killer. You hardly can get a hotel for that anymore, and you know, this you get to hang out with a bunch of excursion people and you get to do the deal. So that's my hope. That's my target, guys. So when you see the price come out of the tickets and stuff, you'll know that my target was that. There's very little people watching right now, so this is great because we'll just all know this, and a lot of people won't. So, but yeah, that was kind of my thought. $100 a night seems good. Well, and that was the other side of it, right? So even if we ended up with one night, like we could just potluck the rest of this thing. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to show up with their trailers or like it's a full camping area. Just bring your stuff and cook. And we'll all just have the thing. Yeah, and I know 700 is like a big number, but like if they're feeding you breakfast, it's only breakfast and dinner. And I think maybe they even make sandwiches or bring sandwich stuff on the trail. I don't know exactly for that 700. $50 a person a day. So yeah, and you've got multiple chefs doing breakfast. Interesting. Yeah, we had to figure that out too. Like I said, I know it's kind of an interesting thing, right? So like, where do I set the price that it makes the most sense? Also, that I get the most people, because like the idea is that we get the most excursions together. I'm not trying to make money. Maris is not necessarily trying to make money. Obviously, they need to cover their costs to allow us to kind of run that park for a weekend. And so, you know, there's a bottom dollar that they will have an event for as well that makes sense for them. And, you know, so I don't know what all that is. And obviously, the more people we get, the easier it is to hit their bottom dollar. Also, we can have some sponsors. We could have a sponsor come in and sponsor a meal and do something cool like that. Sorry, Ossifer, like a camping trailer? Yeah, so the deal is they set us up in this big group camp. Essentially, their group camp area is like they could fit 70 rigs or something stupid. It's insane. So, yeah, I mean, the idea is that all you guys with camp trailers could bring your camping trailer in and park it in camp all weekend. So there are some hookup sites if people needed those, but I think the group camp is like a dry camping thing. So, and yeah, if you're got a trailer or rig, I don't know what trailer you're talking about. If you're talking about a camping trailer, yes, obviously. If you're talking about, if somebody has like a meat cooking trailer, I mean, geez, heck yeah, we need to bring that too. Like, somebody's got a smoker trailer that they want to come in and smoke meat for excursion dudes. Let's chat. Because that would be amazing. Some excursion guy with a smoker on the back. But yeah, there's some good lots on their property for like a car show, and there's also room for vendor stuff. And yeah. Haywood, really interesting thing to bring up right when you walk in. which always makes me wonder what's going on with you that you're that worried about the way people roll, man. So I set you on a timer outer for the next 24 hours. But thank you for joining my stream and posting something very negative. I would love it. Sorry, Ossifer. Would freaking love it. I'm gonna start working on it. I have no clue if anybody would even be interested in it or respond to me. So, Tito, your buddy needs to know about the event, and we need to chat because that could be sick. Yeah. So, Geeks 4x4 Facebook page, go to the events page, send that to your friend, or have me mail me or whatever. I want to talk to her, but like I said, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I used to do these buggy bashes out in the desert. We just would go camp out on BLM land, and we would all bring our China buggies, and we would have one potluck meal, and we would do some rides together that were just us. And I was literally 13 when I started planning these. Now I understand insurance, I understand all these things, and I couldn't do at all what I did then and feel quite as comfortable with it. There's a big reason that we're going to do this at a private park. They take care of all the insurance, they take care of all, there's no permits, there's no any of that. So there's a lot of thought that has gone into this, and obviously more that still needs to be happening, still needs to happen. So if you want to be on that team, I do need to figure out how to assemble that team. Shoot me an email. Would love to sit down and talk to you and see what you could add to that. And I want to make this thing cool. I want to get as many excursions together as possible, and I want to make this excursion event epic, and we're gonna make this hopefully a yearly thing if it does well. So you guys are on the ground floor. I want to know what your ideas are. I want to know who's friends. I want to know if you know somebody at Ford. I want to know if you want to call Ford and pester them and see if they want to sponsor this thing. There's so many opportunities that I don't have time for everything, but I'm trying to be the guiding force because I want it to happen. So, do I know how to do it? No. No, I don't. What else you guys got? What else you got for the event? What else you got for excursion questions? Bring them on. We are still here for a little bit. Might end at a little after 6 tonight. We'll see. And, bring on the questions. Bring on the stuff. Got Sorry Ossifer in here as number 2 with the crown. Yes, I would love to approach Ford. That's on my list. And I think that they need to sponsor it. Especially, there seems to be some traction being gained from a 26-27 excursion. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. Need somebody working on patches. Hey, if you want to do that, Sorry Ossifer, shoot me an email. If you want to be the patch dude, and you know how to get those, and you want to make sure everybody gets one that signs up, because like I said, I'm going to have the numbers and everything. When we get a week or so out, we'll know exactly who's coming, a couple weeks out. And you won't have to print overs. Again, that's out of my scope right now. I'm trying to get the event to happen. But I do love the idea of a patch. Oh, interesting, Dennis. Is that why it sounds like a freaking Lambo when it's at 4,000 RPMs? Because that's my favorite part about the V10. Like, was there a supercar coming at us on the trail? Oh, no. Just an Excursion. Which is way worse. I like my little Excursion. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, they just work, man. This little V10 is a nice workhorse. Mine'll stay. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, you guys are in here. You're my core. I am more than happy to listen to ideas. I also need to put together a team. So if you want to be on that team and help me plan this event, obviously I'm hoping that people that are going to help me plan this are also going to come to the event. There's a really cool potential that could exist from this, that we could do yearly and make this into something really cool for these trucks that we all freaking love. So, not hard. Not twist my arm to create an event where all the excursions in the country get together. Not gonna complain. So, it'll just be yeah. That's really funny, actually. Sorry, Ossifer. I actually love that idea. Instead of ducking other excursions, except I just hate that concept in total. I really don't like the idea of throwing ducks on there, but that would be really funny. We just started a trend that is excursion guys putting little gas cans on excursion. You know what we need is gas can magnets, and we just stick them to the guy's door. Dennis, yeah, man, you won't even know that thing's back there. She's just gonna float around. Pun intended. That's why you buy your excursion, Dennis. Got the good stuff. Get the good tow rig now. Nice. Nice, that works, West Coast Crawlers. West Coast Crawlers, do you have an excursion? I don't remember if I've asked you that before, but I do recognize your name. You've been on here before. So. But yeah, I'm just glad to be able to have some people to bounce ideas off of on the event. And like I said, I would love help. I don't know how to put you to work yet. So if you're like, I want to do this, that's better than just saying I want to help. Because I've never done something on the scale that I want to do this. I want this to be legit. So. Yeah, Dennis. It is funny how as soon as you change that from being your trailer larger than your tow vehicle to your tow vehicle larger, then yeah. Oh, yeah, West Coast. Yeah, you got a Bronco, too. Yeah, man. Still, love those Bronco 2s. They're pretty great. You need an excursion, man, so you can come to the event. Hang out. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think that we're right about 2 hours today. We've gotten through a ton of topics. Talked about Ford excursions for the whole 2 hours. That's pretty awesome. The first like 5 minutes that I always take and do all these dumb other things. And I'm just glad to have you guys in here. Thank you so much for the support. Gained a new member today. Dennis, thank you so much for being a member. I need to do some inside member content some more. And we're going to work on that. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm going to sign off to the off here today. And, yeah. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to sign up for the event. All right, Dennis. Well, thanks for hanging out at this one. That is awesome. If you have not signed up for the event, signed up for information on the event, the Facebook page, go to Geeks 4x4, go to events. You will find, I think I called it the Ford Excursion event. It's going to have a different name, but right now it's the Ford Excursion event. And it's going to be great. So the Excursion event, the Amazon store, like I said, I test all those products. I try and buy them before I put them on my page and let you guys know about them. Because, yeah. And then... what's the other thing? Next event is Trail Hero, first week of October. Love it. Sorry, Ossifer. Geeks4x4@gmail is the email. Yeah, geeks4x4@gmail.com. Super easy to get a hold of me. If not, obviously, Instagram comments, Facebook comments, all the stuff. And Other than that, yeah, the event, Trail Hero, first week of October. If you need information about that, email me at geeks4x4 at gmail. The last thing I'm going to say is the Excursion event, April 9th through the 12th. Maris Adventure Park, Texas Panhandle. Going to be epic. See you there. Bye.